Let us go and look at the options under the node comparisons. Now in this node, in this comparisons node, the options in the comparisons node, you can using which you can compare two user IDs in the same client or in different systems. Or you can compare two roles in the same client or in the same different systems. Let's go and compare compare two roles, two user IDs. Now when I just simply use it the way it is, it compares two user IDs in the same client. If I want to compare the user IDs in two different systems, then I have to use across systems. Okay, let's compare two user IDs and see what happens. So if you compare the access of two users, like in this case Subha and Hari, at the object level, okay, if the authorization objects are the same and they also have the same values, then it will here it will be same values. Okay, but if the objects are there for both the user ID, but the values are different, then it gives you a different value, and when you double click on it, you can see what the difference is. So you have the SAP all to both users, that's why you have this combination which is there. But along with the row SAP all, this user also gets access to this object through a role. This is the proof authorization for that particular role, whatever that role is. So that role is not assigned to this user ID. That's where the difference is. Follow? So if the objects are there for both the users, but the values are different, then you get a different value message here. Okay? Now if this object is there for this person and it's not there for this user, then this would be different objects. Okay? Okay. Now in what situations would you use this option? Suppose some user complains and say, you know what, I do the same thing as XYZ person, and I'm not able to do certain things, but he's able to do it. Okay, here the statement is important. The reason is, what is he saying? He's saying he's doing the same work as the other person. So technically speaking, they should have the same roles. So one way is going to go to SUSE-1 of each role, if you check the roles that are assigned to each user and see where is the difference, right? Or come here and see where is the difference. Okay, but here it will not tell you what roles are missing. It will tell you at the object level, authorizations level. Now same thing, okay. If you want to compare user IDs between two different systems, then you have to click on, okay, this already, across systems button on the top, and then you get these two extra fields. But to compare, because you're comparing with an external system, you need to define the RFC destinations so that the two systems can talk to each other, communicate with each other, okay? Same thing you can do for roles. You can give two roles here. Click on internal, for example. You can give two roles here. Let's take two roles and compare. Okay, let's take this one, and let's take this one. Okay, two rows, and see how it looks. See, different values, same values, different objects. Three types of messages, right? Let's take different values. So you have SU01 here, you don't have SU01 here. That is a difference for this object. If you look at different object, this object is there in this role, whereas it's not in this role. Understood? Different values. You have, this is the list of transaction codes in this row. This is a list of transaction codes in this row, because this does not contain SU01. This object is also not there. Okay? Now same thing you can compare between this. Suppose you want to compare the same role between two systems. Same role. Then you can use across system options here and then give the role names here. These two fields will contain the same role name. Now in what situation would you use this? Okay, from a process standpoint, okay, it's a good security standpoint. Let's say you have to modify a role in production, you have to modify a role, right, to give some access to a user in production. Now, where is this useful, for example? Now you get a ticket to modify a role, right? Now, it is possible that somebody else, some other user administrator, security administrator, may have got some other ticket which has in which they have requested a change to the same role. Okay. Now you make that other person makes the change first and gets it for testing. Okay. Now the testing is not completed in time. Okay, somebody is testing it but is not finishing it. In the meanwhile, you got a request to modify the same role in development. So you modify the change role in the development box and then send it to testing. Okay. Now to move that role from development to testing box, you need to create a transport, right? So you created one transport, and your change also contains what the first person made, because he made the change first, right? So your transport contains that change also. The first person's transport does not contain your change because he made the change first, correct? So what happens now? Look at the scenario. You make the change and then you get it tested fast, and your change goes to production first. Okay? Now when your transport goes to production, that transport also contains the change that was made by the first person, which has not been tested yet. So one problem is untested authorizations have gone into production now. That's one problem. Second problem is, after your transport goes into production, the first person's transport comes into production. So, but the first person's transport does not contain your change, whatever modifications you made. So the first person's transport, when it gets into production, it's going to override your change. So your user starts getting the same authorization error again. You understood? So before making the change, okay, before you make the change to a role, it is always a good practice to compare the roles between the development system and the production system, development system, development and production system. Once you make the change, compare. If anything has happened to the role, it will give the difference because the changes are there in development. It's not there in production yet. So it's either going to set different values or different objects. So that's an indicator for you that some change is happening somewhere. Somebody has made some change. Then what do? You compare the role between development system and testing system. Okay? And if all the values are the same, then you say, okay, something has been tested in the testing, so you don't make your change. So you wait till whatever has happened go into production first, and then you make your change. Understand? So it helps, comparing roles helps in maintaining your security and avoiding authorization error issues due to overwriting of the changes. And you also are in audit compliance. Understood? So there's a very good practice too, there's a very good option as far as building or modifying a role properly, following up a very good process. Understood? Now same thing with profiles. You can compare two profiles between two different systems or within the same system. And for authorizations. So from a use standpoint, I would say this is the most important one. Troubleshooting standpoint, probably this could also be used. When users complain that they should be able to do the same stuff as some other user, then from users option could be useful. But from security standpoint, I would say this is the primary one of importance wise by roles option. No, sorry, from roles. Okay.